Realtree's Midwest Whitetail is brought to you by Cuddyback, Drake Non-Typical, Easton Arrows, Frigid Forage, Fuse, Grizzly Coolers, Hoyt, and Realtree.
Day 28, November 20th. This morning we are in what we call the plow down plot. It's gotten its name because of the rotation of what we plant here. We go from clover to big and beastie and back and forth. And every time we've got clover in here, when we follow that up with big and beastie, we till the clover under. And it's worked out really well because that clover then creates a little bit more nitrogen, which the big and beastie really thrives on. So it's a good rotation. This spot is tucked way back in the timber. It's down in a little valley. Very secluded, isolated little spot. And I wouldn't necessarily call it a feeding area as much as maybe a staging area or a social, social hub. We've had in the pre-dawn, we've had 2 does, I think 2 fawns, and 2 bucks come through already before we could really film much. I think we got a little bit of that buck, the last one that came through. So that's pretty good production for a little spot like this. This is an area where we think that buck that we call the bladed 10 lives. In fact, it was 2017 when we first spotted that deer, and it was in this plot. I'd say we're still within that buck's range based on what I know from him for this year. It'd be fun to see that deer pop out, even if he doesn't give us a shot. We haven't seen him yet this year, but trail camera says he's still around. So maybe today will be the day. This morning has just been brutal. It was pre-dawn, all the activity before we could even have decent camera light, and then nothing. I mean, it's been literally 0 deer activity. So we're going to pack up a little bit earlier than we normally would. Hunting these valleys can be really challenging, and I've done it okay once in a while from a tree stand, but you have to be doing it, or you have to have the wind blowing in the same direction as what the valley lays. So we've got a south wind today. We're set up on the north edge of this little plot. We could probably have pulled it off being in a tree someplace on this edge and not had any major problems with swirling. But anytime you get the wind that crosses the valley, cuts it at an angle, or if it gusts hard, no matter what direction it's blowing, it just circles around and swirls around. So that's where hunting out of the blinds comes in. If you're getting winded a lot, hunting valleys, don't feel like you're doing something wrong. That's just the nature of the beast. There's not too many solutions other than hunting it when it's almost dead still, and then the thermals take your scent down, downhill, or when the wind is blowing nice and steady but in line, same direction as the valley. I'm not going to be able to hunt this evening. I've got some stuff planned that I need to take care of. So I'll see you back here again tomorrow, and hopefully we'll see a little bit more than what we saw today. I think it's supposed to get cooler again. I think this warm spell is supposed to play itself out and then start to get a little bit cooler again. So we'll see you back here again tomorrow.